Hey everybody, welcome to the Novice Fisherman's Guide to the Florida Keys number 5. In today's video, we're going to be talking about bait. But first, let me run on over to the store and grab some bait. Okay, we're back. Made a quick run to my local West Marine. But the bait that we're going to be utilizing, you could find in the Keys everywhere. Of course, you can go to any local fishing tackle shop. Places like the boating supply stores like West Marine, any of the local marinas. You can also find them at grocery stores, Publix, Winn-Dixie. Most of them will have a frozen food counter with frozen bait in it, as well as even like gas stations, mini marts, liquor stores, all tend to have some of those, especially any of them closer to the water. And since we're on the Keys, everything is close to the water. Now, the two types of bait that we're going to feature are these, frozen squid and frozen shrimp. So we'll go over the reasons why. Now, the frozen shrimp and the frozen squid. Now, you can, in human terms, think them as pizza and cheeseburgers, all right? In the human world, everybody loves them. Everybody will eat them. Well, not everybody. There's always those freak vegetarians out there. Just like there's a couple of species of fish that might not eat them. But the vast majority will attack them and devour them, okay? And it's the same thing in the fish world with squid and shrimp. Fish love them. Majority of the fish swimming in the ocean just love these things and they'll gobble them up. Now, to the novice fisherman, you might say like, well, why aren't you using that to catch all the fish? You can. I mean, like I said, everything will eat them. But there's actually a problem, and it's a good/bad problem depending on how you look at it. The issue is because everything will want these baits, everything attacks them as soon as they hit the water, especially those smaller nibbler fish, the bait stealers we call them, will go after these right away, and a lot of times they'll eat these, or you'll catch these smaller fish when you're targeting a certain species, or bigger ones that never even get a chance to get it because all these other fish are rushing in to get it. But for us, on this type of fishing that we're looking to do, where we're just looking to bend a rod, we don't care about that. We just want to catch stuff. That's what makes this bait perfect. Now, if you're interested in using other specific types of bait, or you're looking to use live baits and so forth, check out my YouTube channel, the Key West Kayak Fishing. I do utilize a lot of variety of different baits, live and dead baits. So that'll give you a lot more information there. This, however, we're going to focus on just bending a rod, and this stuff is perfect. Now, when it comes to bait, I have one golden rule. You have to treat it just like if you were going to eat it. One thing to remember is the bait is really the only thing that the fish care about. They don't care about what rod you're using, what reel, what line, what weights, what hooks. They don't care what fishing clothes you're wearing, what hat you're wearing, what boat you're on, what kayak you're on, what bridge you're on. They don't care about any of that stuff. The only thing they care about is that bait. That is why it's so important that you treat that bait just the same way as if you were going to eat it. Now that you've gone and purchased your frozen quality bait, now the key important part is maintaining that quality throughout the day. A big error that people make is they'll grab a bag of frozen block bait, go out fishing, pour a bunch of water on it because you want to get it defrosted right away so you can start using it. First hour, it's great. It's still cold, it's still solid, it smells good, and you're fishing with it. But then hour 2, it's defrosted, starts getting to room temperature. Hour 3 is that's starting to smell a little bit. Hour 4, you're not even want to stand by it, okay? Would that be the way that you're going to take care of food that you're going to eat? No, of course not. You're going to keep it in an ice chest, surrounded by ice, kept cool, okay? No different with your bait. Best thing you could do is bring a little bait cooler, pack it full of ice or some frozen water bottles, and just pull out just what you're going to be using at that time so the bait stays nice and fresh. One of the tricks that I utilize is that I know I'm never going to use a whole pound of squid or a pound of shrimp. It lasts a long time. Basically, a pound of shrimp, the way I use it, will last 2 months. Okay, if you're using on a family and you've got a whole bunch of people, maybe you would use more, but you just need what you need for that fishing trip. So what I do is I grab sandwich bags and I split up those the big block into daily proportions and put those each individually in bags, throw them in the freezer. So when I go out, I just grab that one bag and that's all I know I'll use for the day. If I have some left over, it's no big deal, I just toss it out. That saves you a lot of money because that one purchase lasts 4 or 5 trips. The other thing is that you don't want to do is get your one block, go out fishing, it defrosts. Even if you maintain it in a cooler and it defrosts, okay, then you're thinking that, okay, now I'm going to just take it home, refreeze it, and use it again the next time. You have to remember, freezing it doesn't make it back to the original spot. It just stops it where it was at, and as soon as you defrost it, that stench starts building right from the beginning. So as it defrosts and it starts getting slimy and stinky, okay, freezing stops that, but it starts right off there, and it's nasty bait that you're using the next time you fish. And again, fish are just the same way as you. If you wouldn't eat it by defrosting seafood and then refreezing it and then defrosting again, don't try to feed it to the fish. It's easier to segregate those proportions and just use what you need. Okay, so that's frozen squid, frozen shrimp. Now, for the average person, you don't need to take both of them. They both work equally well as in regards to fish loving them. The key differences are squid will tend to stay on the hook longer. It's harder for the fish to pull off. The shrimp takes a little bit more preparation because it's got the shell and it's got the horns and the tail, and the actual meat is inside the shell, so you have to take those apart. And they can be pulled off, tend to be picked apart a little bit easier. But again, we're just looking to catch fish, so we want that activity. We want fish coming at it. So me preferably, I would choose the squid, but they work really the same. Now, if you are just totally adamant about not wanting that fish smell and not wanting to deal with bait at all, okay, a couple videos ago, I went over artificial baits and specifically the gulp products. They're the kind of product that uses that scented oils that fish love and works pretty good. I would say it'd be about 60% the effectiveness as shrimp and squid. Okay, so it is an option. However, if you use that and you're not catching fish, shrimp and squid. Okay, can you feel it? We're getting closer. I'm going to do one more informational type video, and my next video is going to be about where to find places to fish. Now, a lot of people think, oh, it's the Keys, you're on an island, you can fish everywhere. Well, you can, but not as effectively as others, so we're going to go into how to find spots to fish. But anyways, that is all about the bait. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Bye.